Nintendo has won a pretty big court case in Canada against a mod chip seller. All right? Huge case. This is a copyright case in Canada. Accused Ghost Cyber Shopping GCS and its founder, Jeremy King, of illegally selling 3DS flashcards, mod chips, and other piracy-oriented tools. All right. Okay. This is the first case of its kind to test the Canadian Copyright Act's anti-circumvention measures. So that we have the Digital Millennium Copyright Act in the U.S. This is kind of along those lines for Canada. All right. A Canadian legal expert, Michael Geist, said that the court rejected GCS's claims that support for homebrew games made the sales acceptable. So that was always an argument for methods of piracy, is that, well, with flashcards, you can, this is one of the only ways you can easily do homebrews. Which, yes, it is, but that's not why 99% of people are buying flashcards. Let's be honest. And I'm not against flashcards, by and large. Let's keep that in mind, too. I own them. But it's bullshit to think that they mostly exist for homebrew development and for playing homebrews. No, it's for playing copyrighted games that exist illegally. That's why they exist. And I guess the jury in Canada agreed with that. So the law, let's see. The law allows circumvention for the sake of interoperability. This is the Canadian Copyright Act. But that wasn't the case here. But the person selling these flashcards even boasted about his activity according to Nintendo. So the damages were 9.5 million US. Holy shit. And a formal apology on the website. So, wow. If there's a moral to the story here, I'm guessing the moral of the story is that if you're going to sell these, don't do it in a country that has strict copyright laws like the US or Canada. You only can get away with selling this stuff, I guess, nowadays, if you're a big retailer, probably out of Asia or Russia, because they, for the most part, have a lot less strict copyright laws. You can walk into stores there and not have to worry about it. You can buy pirated software and games and flashcards in stores. It's not like you can walk into a Target in the US and buy a flashcard. You can't do that, because Nintendo would come down on Target in a heartbeat, because we have laws that protect copyright owners. So, do I feel bad for GCS? Well, they knew the risk, and they went to court and they lost. I mean, it is what it is, people are still going to be able to buy flashcards, but Nintendo did make an example out of them. Absolutely. Engadget says this case serves as an example of both the benefits and pitfalls of strict anti-circumvention laws, regardless of where they're instituted. Canada's laws helped shut down an outfit that was largely profiting from piracy, but Geist warns that there is a potential for this law to be abused or inadvertently stifle progress. Good copyright law, he argues, has to give reasonably broad exceptions for fair use so that companies can exploit the law to shut down competition. Nintendo is above board here, but that won't necessarily be true in the future. So what he's saying is, what Nintendo did was right, but if there's enough looseness in the law, companies can abuse this and go after companies for real fair use to circumvent. Say someone's putting up a server for a 15-year-old game that you can't play anymore without a server existing to access it, for example, information. So he's saying, what if a company went after that person for doing that? Which that'd be clearly fair use to do something like that, at least in my opinion. But you wouldn't want a company to go after someone for something as innocuous as that. Yes, selling flashcards, absolutely. Selling pirated software, of course. Something like that's a bigger gray area. That could be more troublesome. But, this is, Nintendo's going to get $12.76 million out of this unless GCS files for bankruptcy. I think it's funny that it's not just the money. They have to issue an apology on the website as well. So I can picture Nintendo making them have not just like a letter, but they'll give them they'll draw a graphic of Mario in a a judge's robes with like a gavel, like all cute, like Dr. Mario wearing a stethoscope, and in his doctor's outfit, just like a judge, like, it's me, a Mario. I just beat your ass in court. I don't know. I just think that's fun. I just thought of that right now. It's like whenever you see like Nintendo legal letters of the past or warning consumers, they almost always had, a cute little Mario graphic with that. If I go to Go Cyber Shopping right now, if you look, let's see, are they selling the mod stuff still? Let's click on Nintendo 3DS. No products available. DSi. No products available. Looks like they're not selling them anymore. 3DS, no products available. How about for a fatty DS? Anything with that? No, you can just buy a memory card, regular memory card. You cannot buy them anymore. All right. Looks like Nintendo, they weren't playing around.